the entrance of the city gate. They said to each other, "Why stay here until we die? If we say we'll go into the city, the famine is there, and we will die. And if we stay here, we will die. So let's go over to the camp of the Arameans and surrender. If they spare us, we live. If they kill us, then we die." Now I want you to pay close attention to these 4 men who had leprosy. Back in those days, when you had the leprosy, they considered it a disease, and they thought that it was contagious. So people were afraid to go near them, for they catch their disease. Now, in today's world, in our days now, maybe the leprosy man is like the homeless people that we see out in the streets, like in Skid Row. Nobody wants to go near them because they're afraid of how they look, how they smell. You know, it's like almost as if it's a disease. Now there's another story where a woman named Miriam, who's Abraham's sister, she had leprosy as well, and the people of Israel wanted to Moses' sister, wanted to cast her out because she had leprosy, and they wanted to isolate her for 7 days because they thought it would be contagious. Now, leprosy, it can also be compared to someone with sin or our sin. You know, nobody wants to go near, they don't want to deal with sin. They consider it dirty and they don't want anything to do with it. So for instance, for us as Christians, or for just people in general, our sin is like considered leprosy. It's the same, it holds the same weight. It's dirty, nobody wants to be around it, nobody wants anything to do with it. Now let's go back to the story in 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 4, and where the leprosy men began to start questioning, and they said, "If we say we'll go into the city, the famine is there and we will die. But even if we stay here outside the gate, we will die."
Mo hokoange ki he kau tau me Siria kapau te nau whakamoi a tau tolu te tau moi pe kapau te nau tamate a tau tolu te tau mate.
And so they decided that they should go over into the Aramean camp and surrender, because even if they spare them, then they will live. But if they kill them, then still they're going to die.
Kana e loto taha ki kau ki Lia koe ni tau whai hame.
But one thing was for certain amongst the 4 men with the leprosy is that they decided to do something.
Na nau loto taha pe nau pe he. I he vesi koe no ni ma koe na nau tu hake I he kei whakapopo uri. Ke alu ki he apitanga ka kai Siria. I he nau hoko ange ki he ngata anga au pito o e apitanga o ka kai Siria. Wakai na e I kai hatoko taha I ai.
And verse 5, so at dusk they got up and went to the camp of the Arameans, where they reached the edge of the camp. Not a man was there, for the Lord has caused the Arameans to hear the sound of the chariots and horses and a great army, so that they said to one another, look, the king of Israel has hired the Hittite and the Egyptian kings to attack us.
So angi kau ki Lia koe ni na anau loto taha whai taha pa na e pauho nau loto ke nau ngau e whakataha pa nau mū whakataha.
And so we see here in verse 5 that the 4 men with leprosy, they agreed amongst each other, and they all decided as one that they would do something, and then that they would go into the Aramean camp.
Tatau ai pe kia tek nau tol pe te nau mate pe te nau moui. Ka koho nau loto na e whai taha. Na nau loto taha.
They knew that there was a risk that they might die, or they might live, but still they decided as one that they would go anyway.
Pe koe mea lewa nai hoko.